Kicking it with KeKe. Kicking it with KeKe. Kicking it with KeKe. Full of personality. Switching up the storyline on God, we making history.
Writing books, changing lives, one day at a time. Problems to the side, enjoy yourself, free your mind.
Kicking it with KeKe.
What's up, you guys, and welcome to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Life, Love, and all that other shit. I am your host, KeKe Chanel. I'm an award-winning author, lifestyle blogger, and certified life coach. The overall theme for this podcast is all about self-development. That is mind, body, and spirit. I believe that when we operate as our best self, we live life more abundantly. So this is the overall theme for my podcast. I have like-minded individuals that come on and speak, and I am here with one of them today. I like to give my guests the opportunity to introduce themselves. So Will, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you, and you let everybody know who you are and what you do, sir.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Wilsurv, and I have a podcast called the Mr. Watch Me Speak podcast. I'm a part-time actor. My mission is to inspire others to really understand that they can do anything as far as creating. I want to inspire others. I know of a lot of people based off of the experiences that I've gone through. So I got a lot of information that can save you time, can save you energy, and really become the best version of yourself.
I love that. I love that. Tell people how they can tune in. We'll get into that a little bit, but since you brought it up first, tell people how they can tune in to your podcast.
Yes, my podcast is located on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and a few other platforms. But the best thing to do is to go to the link in my bio. I have it on every profile. I have a lot of information that I speak on with my journey in podcasting on the first season. And I'm in my second season, about to hit the third. And
congratulations.
It is an experience to really find my voice. So I wrote about that also. Look for that in the future.
All right. Love it. Look, I'm in season 2 and we're in season 3, coming into season 3. So it's exciting. It is exciting to have your voice out there for people to listen in, criticize, whatever. It's not easy being a creative, putting yourself out there. So congratulations to you again, my friend. Will and I connected on social media, on Instagram, in them Instagram streets, right? And,
yes.
I just kept seeing his name pop up. And then all of a sudden, we saw the face behind the words, and it's just been a community of like-minded people ever since. So I'm glad that we're connected, and I'm glad that you're here kicking it with me today. We're going to talk about some personal development before we get into the other stuff that we're going to talk about, because I know you have something that you want to share with the viewers and the people that's watching on YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, go on over and watch on YouTube so you can see it as well. But when it comes to personal development, what does that mean to you?
To me, personal development is very important. It's very important to have your time management down, have the right mindset going into something that you feel is the best version of yourself. But to understand that there are so many resources around us, that energy that we've been wanting is really going on right now. I'm inspired by strong women myself, being a young African-American male. I come from an educated background. I'm an HBCU graduate of Delaware State University.
All right.
And I know that I may not know everything. That was half of the challenge, knowing that there are others that have gone through similar things that I've gone through, and we're all creating. So sometimes watching, sometimes going back and forth in those DMs is what they say. You can get some information that can change your life. And that's what I've really been doing the last few months, I would say, because I've been thinking of what I am starting to do, which I am now doing since I was a child. I come from a little bit of a background of city, like New York City. Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
After the military, because I'm a military veteran, I relocated up there to finish up some trade schools before I came down here to Atlanta, where I'm located, and just gather a lot of information as to what my original journey was. And that was being a creator in fashion.
Nice. Nice. I love that. Look, and you're in the right place too. You're in Atlanta, man. Listen. And y'all listeners, I'm telling y'all should come to YouTube and check him out because he got the hat on, got the dreads going on. Go ahead, Will. Go ahead. But I love that when it comes to personal development that you said, it's like resources. Use your resources. Reach out to people that you normally wouldn't meet in the streets. So use that social media platform for positive instead of negative. And it has gotten a bad rep, but I think that COVID has changed the narrative a little bit when it comes to social media being all bad, because I've met some amazing people on social media and they dip into the DMs. I dip into the DMs. I found guests that way. And it's all done in fashion, in good fashion, good taste, and good intentions. And I think that when we set our intentions in a positive way, positive things come to us.
Yes, as a male, I start by showing respect first for everyone, like really being a visionary at this time. You have to respect someone else's experience with going into it respectively, and especially with communicating with females, being male, there's a certain type of approach to that, but it all stems from respect and respecting yourself, because this is a professional side of it's really for the future. A lot of things could be done like this so easily, so quickly. There is nothing really stopping us from doing what we want to do. And that's why I think that it starts with respect.
I agree, because so many people are just looking to hook up and stuff like that. And you got to be careful with your words. And like you said, the approach is everything. So, we talked about the podcast. We talked about personal development. I want to talk about the creator, Will, the creator. How did you get into that? How did you know that being a creator was a part of your passion?
I definitely have a way of answering that. At 13, I tapped into some acting from school, but as an adult, it became independent. There'll be a few dropping this summer. I've helped a lot of people with screenwriting and podcasting, put in the work, not everything is paid for, and really get that inspiration that I want, that I felt like I deserved. So I decided to start it off by creating a sneaker first. I can show it right now.
Nice.
It is called the Skybox. It is really based off of my own journey in sports. I know this color is white, but there will be multiple colors. I really like how leather is, and really know that the support, being a high top sneaker, was something that I wanted to originally go for. I wanted to start it off by not a custom sneaker, but an original sneaker. And I wanted to show others that you can create something like this too, because I really have blueprints of this at 14 to 16 years old. And it is an inspiration to me because it's really made in Italy. It has the best support. It's a sports shoe. And it's really a little bit of a resemblance of some British Knights that my dad got me when he was in the military in Oceanside, California, on Camp Pendleton, because I have two Marine parents. So I've always loved that shoe. I'm calling it the Skybox because you can see it from the Skybox, but you're going to be playing some pickup games in this. You're going to get the right support. You're going to be able to dunk. You're going to be able to cross. And growing up, I had a few injuries with ankle and pickup games, and it really put me on the sidelines for a little bit. But it was my own fault because I didn't realize how important this type of support right here is when it comes to really stabilizing your leg and preventing any injuries. So as far as more sneakers, and more sandals and women's fashion, which I'm tapping into all this summer. And bridging it into my independent film, which they will be shown off, and bridging it into a documentary that I'm currently making called Me and My Shoes. That's going to be on YouTube this summer. I think it's one of the best creations and thoughts put to action that I've ever done. And it's really just the beginning. So I love the shoe.
I love the way it look, y'all. Listen, I'm not just saying that because I love shoes and I'm not a big sneaker person, but I have certain sneakers that I just love. And when you mentioned British Knights, that gave me nostalgia. Like, oh my God, because I had the black and white high top. And then my sister had the white and black. So we were able to share a little bit, but I love the way it looked. I love the sleekness of it. And I love the bottom of the shoe, how the leather comes up. I just love that. Like, can I get a customized KeKe Chanel pair? I need purple and white.
There will be some customs. That's a little bit of the reason why I'm in Atlanta. I've definitely talked to a few people that do some custom to get that information. But as far as this shoe, in the end, anyone can create something based off of a vision if you put that energy into it and really don't hold back when you get to that level of creating.
Right.
And I was inspired by this by growing up, and there's other things that I'm inspired by. I think of myself first as an artist with so many things going on, but I know I tapped into my resources as far as like having that time management.
Right.
This right here is a size 12. There are sizes for women. They go as low as 6.5 and they go as high as 15.
Wow.
And the link is in my bio. There's a lot more to come, but we're going to start off the summer with this because there's going to be a lot of sports activities. There's going to be a lot of crossing over, like a lot of workout. So I wanted to start it off with the summer season as to going into having that type of support that you've been wanting, but you haven't really known where to get it from.
Right.
I'm a creator. This is a vision that I've had since I was a child. Like my granddad used to take me downtown Brooklyn to get like different type of sneakers.
Okay.
I didn't even know a DKNY sneaker existed until he really compared it to an Air Force One. And I've always liked Air Force Ones with that type of support that they gave.
Right.
Even in the music videos and even like just walking, growing up in high school and all of that. So I wanted to make sure that I tapped into the best type of leather, which is Italian. And this sneaker is straight out of the basketball archives. The sneaker reissues the court style according to today's trends. The mesh upper with overlays and suede accents is cut in mid-rise basket silhouette. This shoe features perforated detailing for breathability in the front, padded collar for added comfort, and a lace closure right in the front, right above that skybox.
I like it. I like it a lot.
And it is finished with a chunky sole made for extra light and durable rubber, and a padded tongue with an embedded logo right in the front. And I love these colors with white and blue because like this blue is definitely my favorite color.
Okay.
And the white really shows off the detailing of my creation, but I really want to come out with some different colors. So I'm getting a lot of feedback down here in Atlanta based off of like, I would say more of the women are tapping in with like teal and brown or teal and pink. And of course I have to have a purple one coming out.
Oh, what? Listen, I want it. I want it. When it comes, KeKe want a pair for real.
Thank you. Thank you. I definitely want to support. And if you're interested in getting a pair yourself, there are coupons from the 4th of July weekend. And I'm gonna always have the coupons like rolling over. It's just you have to contact me and DM me coupon in any of the platforms that I'm in, and I'll know what you're talking about.
Okay.
A lot of it has to do with my personal journeys as to what I'm creating, even down to independent films with special effects. Because online, being a digital creator, being a part-time actor, which is gonna merge into full-time eventually.
Yes, it's
But
coming.
thank you. Thank you. All of us are professionals. So I am a professional down here with the city of Atlanta based off of like my experiences in school. I'm very highly educated. So I work on like the buses for the city of Atlanta.
Mhm.
So if you're here, I can find you. I'll pick you up in a bus. Like, you know, so that's
Right.
what the professional side, but that time management is so important because we want to make time for us also because we don't want to wait on anything that we want to create. And
Absolutely.
creating is that energy to inspire. And it's
Mhm.
like I'm talking to a whole bunch of people right now that
Mhm.
want to create. So you can look at me and what I create and don't just do this, do better. I want to see better just based off of this time that we're in right now.
I love that you just said that. Don't just do this, be better. Like that should be the overall goal in our mentality. We are here to grow and evolve into our highest self. So the person that we was in 2020, we shouldn't want to be that person in 2022.
Right.
And then if we're blessed to see 2023, we should even aim higher.
Yes.
And I think that all stems with personal development, that mindset that we talked about, being true to who you are, not conforming because somebody wants you to do something else. Because I'm pretty sure you probably had people in your ear saying, hey, you need to add this. Hey, no, I don't think you need to have this or whatever. So speak to someone who's listening that has an idea and
Mhm.
wants to implement it. They're passionate about it. What can you tell them when it comes to staying true to that vision that they have?
Yes, staying true to your vision is so important. It starts off with protecting your peace. You want to make sure you don't have any outside influences distracting you. You want to make sure that you have a plan and a strategy, and you want to really be consistent with what you're doing. It might not always be online, but continue to do what you want, what you need to do, and don't waste time on it. I think that it is so important. The first thing I stated, protecting your peace, which Deion Sanders says it. One of like my true people that I look up to. He mentions it because he knows how creative that we are in our community. He
Mhm.
knows that we can do it, and he really has seen it in us.
Mhm.
So it's not about letting anyone that you look up to down. Don't let yourself down, and don't wait on it, especially now, because we need everyone. Because we want to start getting from here, we want to start getting from here, and you might be the one to really change the game.
Right. Oh, I love that. Don't let yourself down. Like that should be priority because I've been guilty of trying not to let other people down and just neglect myself in the process. So whether you're being a creative or you're developing content or tying shoes for a living, always show up for yourself.
Yes.
Always show up for yourself. Make sure that you come as your best self because what people are always watching. They notice. You may not see them, but they notice. And what you do matters. Impressions are lasting impressions, whether they're good or bad, first or whatever. So just make sure that, you know, and I'm saying this to myself as well. Show up every day like like you belong there. Like show up in the room like you belong there. And I know we've seen people say that over and over again, and it sounds redundant, but it's just so true. It is so true. We have to show up for ourselves like we belong in the room because guess what? You matter. You're relevant. Your gifts and talents are here for a reason. God gave you those gifts and talents for a reason. They would make room for you, but you have to make room for yourself in the process.
Yes, so important.
Mhm.
I wanted to mention being inspired so young. I went back to a camp that I attended in New Jersey that's now closed. And within my community, my small group of friends, we want to open back up that camp. It's called Camp Sussex. It's in New Jersey. It was for inner city schools inner city children that came from the Bronx. And we had a very good time. As I went to school at Delaware State, I worked there on my off time during like spring break and all of that. Like there was one moment that I knew how powerful I was, that I go back to this picture that I have at Camp Sussex. Derek Jeter baseball camp in 2000, I would say 2005. I went up there and I really talked to a lot of the campers that are now grown up, that are now doing things, and we all like combine and keep them on the right track because our experience can save them time. Our experiences can let them know not to be distracted by any outside influences that are out there. We haven't lost one camp person that we counseled as we grown up, because we talk to their parents and we're close and all of that, but we keep it at a certain level as far as guidance because we lead by example.
Right.
I consider myself a leader, especially with the inspiring. There are more things to come as far as like any type of clothing and all of that, but starting it off from the bottom up with the sneaker, from the bottom up, we're gonna eventually go to the top and really inspire the whole body, mind, and soul, like spirit, as far as like anything creating.
I love that, Will. I love that so much. And I know that this sneaker is gonna take off and do so well. I'm just waiting to see it all happen because it's an amazing product. You know, you put your time and effort and resources and researched everything, your experience, you put all of that into it, and you can tell by looking at it. You could tell when you talk about it, how you light up when you speak about this shoe. Like, y'all, if y'all just listening, I need y'all to go over to YouTube and watch this interview as well, so you can see the product and see Will's reaction when he shows and talks about the product. It is amazing. It is amazing.
Yes, it's so serious to me because I care about this product. I care about like how it inspires others. And I know that this is just the beginning to set it off. And I really want everyone to know that you can create also. And really start off by having the right vision. It started at a young age. I've lived in the inner city. Right now I live in Atlanta, the festival capital of the world to me. And I want to make sure that everyone knows that if you're interested, just check the link in my bio on any platform from Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter.
So give the handle out so I can add that into the description box.
Oh, okay. My handle for the sneaker is, I'm gonna go right to the link. It is www.aliveshoes.com/skybox-4. aliveshoes.com/skybox-4. And of course, like everything that I'm working on is in the link in my bio. As far as how I'm doing it, I know that there is a journey with this. I'm learning new things every day of how to communicate with others. And when it's all said and done, I feel that it's going to inspire others to let them know how you can build it up from the top to the bottom. I mean, from the bottom to the top.
From the bottom to the top. Listen, I love that. And look, my son is 13 and he loves to play basketball. So I'm gonna have to get him a pair. Hopefully I can get him to play at school. He was like, I missed tryouts last year, Mom. I'm like, you're gonna have to do better than that, because they don't send it home anymore because he's in junior high school. So it's up to the kid to find out when tryouts and all of that is. So I'm like, okay, so they're teaching them responsibility, and it takes out, it weeds out the players that's really serious about it versus not. So like, you find out when tryouts are, you show up and then you make the team, you try your best. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely show him. Send me a picture of the shoe. Like, DM me a picture of the shoe so I can show it to him, because back to school is coming as well. So his favorite color is red though. So I need you to get a red and black, a red and white pair for sure.
I've been hearing a lot about that. And purple and gold is something that's close to me as far as college, but I want to make sure I get that red and black out. And I want to make sure that I get all these colors down. They're all coming sooner than later. Thank you.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. So I will have all of the information for listeners in the description. If you want to connect, if you want to purchase, if you want to just speak with Will on his podcast or tune into his podcast, all of the information will be available for you guys. So what's next? I know you said you had a documentary coming up. Like, what's next for Will?
Right. I have a lot of content as a digital creator. I'm constantly on social media, like telling my story. I've documented myself since 2005. I've just used a strategy, which is hard drive, zip drives, making sure that I edit the right way. Ever since I've been out of the military, I tapped into a few independent films that are being edited now. Look for those, me starting to promote those also.
Okay.
They're based off of some sci-fi ventures in our community. It's one of
I'm a bit of a nerd, so I love sci-fi.
Right. I helped so much with allowing my time, and I really learned so much also. I have so much information, so much energy to give out to anything that I really am true about and that I believe in. So this moment turned into a small moment to a big moment really quick when I showed up, and I bridged it into what I'm creating with the documentary about my sneakers. It's called Me and My Sneakers, all around Atlanta, all around Nashville, all around Houston, all around New York City, and plus more. I think it's gonna be a few more cities that we walk around and with different type of shoes and get reactions like from others based off of what I've created. I'm currently filming that myself.
Okay.
On top of other stuff that I have. If you want to check for that, a little bit of it is on my YouTube, Wilsurv.
Okay.
The documentary from 2012 is on the Watch Me Speaks podcast YouTube, because I have 2 YouTubes. I'm going to bridge them all together and merge everything the way that it's supposed to be. It's the journey with everything that you learn the most. I want everyone to know that.
Absolutely. Everything is a learning experience, and it's a growing experience. If you learn from it, you're able to grow. If you don't, you stay stuck. So the point is to make sure you're intentional, you show up, and you are observant, and you do the work. So thank you for doing the work, Will. Thank you so much for doing the work, because you could have easily kept your vision to yourself, created that shoe for yourself, and then have everybody else looking like, well, man, what I want it. Like, no, this mine. But no, you're sharing your vision with other people. And so I just appreciate that. And I also appreciate you stopping by to kick it with me today. So what else would you like to tell listeners when it comes to, personal development, being true to yourself, being your own type of person when it comes to creating and staying true to your art, your craft, your gifts?
Right. I want to mention that it's so important to stay true to yourself and tap into your skills. As a writer, I have that skill. As an artist, I have that skill. I'm putting it to work also with this last cliffhanger that I'm working on that's going to take some time, but I am creating a digital newspaper based off of everything that I'm seeing to really direct everyone to wherever they want to go to. It's something that I've had a vision based off like going to a historic Black university, of knowing where to find those resources within your community. So I stay strong with that. And I think tapping into your skills is so important, because you want to become the best version of yourself, and you want to learn the most on your journey. Because when it's all said and done, the journey never ends. It's a marathon. Never stop and never give up.
Absolutely. I love that. And so I like to ask this question to all of my guests. It's called On a Personal Note. On a personal note, what would your now self tell your younger self about the topics that we've covered today during this discussion?
My younger self would tell my older self?
Your older self would tell your younger self.
Oh, yeah, I would definitely be telling my younger self so much information. I'd be like, what's taking you so long? You don't see this store right here? This could be your store. Like, sky is the limit. There is nothing stopping you. You care a lot about others, but you doing what you are set to do is not just going to do it for you. It's going to activate others. So don't wait on it.
Oh, wow. I love that.
I would tell myself that at 13 years old in downtown Brooklyn, looking at sneakers with my granddad.
So you just painted a great picture.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
It's that artistic side of me. It really is. I think through a lot and I push through a lot. I have my own setbacks that I've had, but in the end, I kept going and I never stopped, and I want others to understand that's part of the formula also.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it, Will. So again, tell everybody your social media handles. I have it all written down, but just tell them again, just in case they don't want to read in the comments in the description box. How can they connect with you? I know you're on IG a lot. You're on Instagram a lot. So just give us that one, and then they could just hit your link tree and get the rest of them.
Yes. With Instagram, you could start with Wilsurv, WILSURV. And I originated that name to inspire the community, to serve the community based off of things that I've survived. I want to let you know that in the top left, there's a drop down that can redirect you to other pages. I have 3 other pages. I have a podcast page, I have a personal blog, and I have an editing page because I am a digital creator and I'm a huge basketball fan. So the link tree, which is directed from every other page from Wilsurv, it directs you all the way to Wilsurv, kind of backwards. Yeah. It's going to direct you to the podcast, which is on multiple platforms. Is going to direct you to where the shoes are located to purchase them and really get a description of them in detail from a website. It's gonna let you know what the song of the week is.
Oh,
the song of the week is always changing because I have a playlist on Spotify also of music that has inspired me through my journey. A lot of it is hip hop, a lot of it is raw, but I do tap into a little bit of spiritual also.
Okay.
I have different places that I am choosing to speak and give my voice so I can activate others. So I have a Clubhouse up there. I have a professional part of me, which is on LinkedIn. As far as others that I know that are digital creators, I want to let everyone know that it's just the beginning because it's expansion. So look for things to change, but right now I'm consistently having this up. If you're interested in creating a podcast also, hit me up with that. If you're interested in being a guest on a podcast to speak on your journey and what you are doing right now for your community, let me know. And my podcast is merging based off of influences from music, sports, and fashion, which is something that is important to me. It's just taking a little bit of time to get to it, but we're almost to season 3.
Absolutely.
But season 3 is where it all starts because there is a journey in everything. And I want to make sure that I put that on there too.
Listen, there is a journey in everything. I love that. I've been taking notes. You know, I take notes with all of my guests to have for the show notes and all of that. And I like the little gems that you drop, so I'll use that as well. But yeah, I take notes. I have a whole notepad. You guys got to see it if you're on YouTube. If you're just listening in, go to YouTube and you can watch it and see it as well. But Will, I wish you continued success, my friend. I'll see you on these, in these Instagram streets, of course. And I thank you for kicking it with me again today.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed every moment of it.
Yes.
And I appreciate being here to speak on what I have going on. So much respect for you and what you're doing.
Thank you.
And I'll catch you out here in these streets.
Absolutely. And look, I want to be on the podcast, so you have to send me the information. I want to be on the podcast. Send me the information. You heard it here live on Kicking It with KeKe. You guys have been listening to another episode. I thank you so much for tuning in. I am here every Thursday with new episodes. Until next time, make sure that you stay true to who you are and always show up for yourself. And know that there is always a journey in everything. Words of Will. Quote by Will. There is a journey in everything that you do. You guys be blessed.